All right, welcome in. This is a public affairs program shedding the light on the interests, issues, and concerns of the greater Pittsburgh area. And today we're going to be releasing the Quacken. Not the Kraken, the Quacken. Partners for Quality, through its family of agencies, supports people with special needs by providing services that promote choice, personal satisfaction, and realization of their hopes and dreams. In studio, we have President and CEO, Partners for Quality, Maggie Rothenberger. Good morning, Maggie. Good to see you.
Good morning, Johnny. How are you?
Now, before we talk about the Duck Derby, the last time we talked, we had the, what was it, Comedy for Partners?
The Partners for Comedy. Absolutely. And we actually had Billy Crawford come in that day.
Right.
And he did a little promo.
Well, but you, I guess, you did a little stand-up, didn't you?
I did. I try and do a little bit every year, so, just to get everybody comfortable and to recognize what our foundation does and what we all do. So I
so
knocked
Tami,
it out of the park.
how did she do?
She was a hit.
She was?
I was.
We're asking her back, Johnny.
She stole the show.
I don't know.
America's Got Talent's going to be calling Maggie.
I wish. I totally wish. No, we had a great time that night.
Also, special events, Tami Rippy. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And Executive Director of Beatles Trivia, Greg Jenna. Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Good morning, my good mate.
How are you, sir?
Hey, it's great to see you.
The 4th Annual Steel City Duck Derby is Saturday, April 26th at Allegheny Commons Park. We're going to be talking a lot about this event, but this is the 4th annual.
It is the 4th.
All right.
And we're up to like 10,000 ducks.
And so what you do is you buy a little duck, we release them in the pond, and then then somebody's going to win $2,000. That's the grand prize, isn't it?
Yes. It is.
Yeah.
It is. One duck, $2,000.
Now, you gave me a duck last year. I've been training this particular duck all year. We've been going through a personal trainer.
Really?
Can I bring in my own duck? Because I think
you can bring him. You just can't put him in Lake Elizabeth.
This is 365 days of training.
It is. And you know what? While I can appreciate that, like these ducks are, they have chips on them and they've got numbers on them and they all orchestrate to the computer, so everything is completely legit.
So my duck is
big
chipless.
Event.
I have a chipless.
Yes.
And these ducks travel from race to race all over the country.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So what we do is we get all 10,000 at the office, and then we
where do you put 10,000
right,
ducks?
Exactly. We put them in a big conference room, and then we go through and count them all and chip them and get them all ready into the computer. It takes all day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And several volunteers. So.
All right. It's the worthy cause. Now, tell us everything we need to know about your organization.
So, interestingly enough, Partners for Quality has been the parent company of 5 different subsidiaries. One is Citizen Care, and we are proud to announce that Citizen Care is turning 50 years old. Yeah. Yes, May 4th, and we will be celebrating on May 5th. We haven't figured out exactly what we're going to do, but they're going to be 50. And Citizen Care, which was the original organization, actually was responsible for helping people out of the Polk institution. So we're doing a bunch of looking into our history and spending some time on all of that. So Citizen Care provides...
They kind of provide behavioral health programs and things like that.
It's more... Citizen Care is more for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So we serve approximately 700-800 people in the community. We also have Milestone, which is over 50, and they support people with intellectual and developmental disabilities along with, that's correct, behavioral, behavioral health needs. Correct. They do both. They do in-home and they do residential placement as well. Allegheny Children's Initiative, obviously children in there, anybody under the age of 21 that's experiencing some mental health or behavioral health issues. And of course, we have the Foundation and Exceptional Adventures, which helps all of our people do travel and have experiences within the community.
And we'll dig a little deeper into each program.
Of course.
But the those programs are the beneficiary of the Duck Derby.
Absolutely. Our foundation actually does they collect on behalf of all of our organizations, and every year the board sets aside $100,000 that directly supports the people that we serve. It doesn't support me. It doesn't support anybody else. And this Duck Derby is the one of the major contributors to the Difference Maker Grant, which is how we go about giving out that money.
All right, Tami, other than finding a home, a temporary home for all your little ducklings, 10,000 ducks, do you have a big enough facility to store all these little ducks?
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do. So 10,000 ducks on April 26th, we'll be racing at Lake Elizabeth on the north side. We'll have a little ducky festival beforehand. We have Jonny Hartwell with music, and we have duck games, and we have food trucks.
I'm just going to put Disco Duck on repeat all morning long.
Yeah, so all these 10,000 ducks arrive in many, many, many crates, and they're taken very well care of and getting ready for race day. But race day, we have, again, a festival prior. It starts at 11 a.m., a little duck festival prior.
Yeah, you have a bunch of little tents and games
Yeah,
and
games,
prizes.
Everybody's
Games,
welcome.
anybody
It's
can win
wonderful.
prizes.
Kids,
Free.
families. Usually it's beautiful out, which is amazing. And you just come spend the afternoon. You can bring a chair. You don't have to. You can. There's food trucks. I think we have a couple beer.
Yes, we have
people.
Allegheny City Brewing that does their own brew for us. Nice little Steel City Duck Lager, so thanks to them.
Duck Lager.
Yeah.
North Shore Tavern is our presenting sponsor.
They've been with you guys for
They
quite
have
some
been
time.
with us
They're
from
with
the
us. They're
beginning.
such a huge partner of ours for almost everything.
Good for them.
They can't say no to Tami. I think they've tried, but I think that they recognize that they can't. So
They
we're
like
very
ducks.
thankful. Yeah, very thankful.
We have Grandpa Joe's Candies along with us this year. Again, we have Mayor Dussel. We have The Right Promise. Those are all our Grand Quacker sponsors, and we're all very excited. USI Insurance. So a lot of them will be on site with us, and we're just going to have a great time.
And so basically you release 10,000 ducks into a pond. You have a funnel, and then you have a number of prizes for
Yes.
people to win, including the grand prize. So tell us a little bit about the prizes that people get to win.
The grand prizes this year, the first prize is $2,000. Second is $1,000. Third is $500. Fourth is a year membership at the Children's Museum. And the fifth prize is a year membership at the Aviary. So we have all of the prizes, these little duckies. The first 5 ducks to come into our trap, swim after we swim along Lake Elizabeth, are the winners. And they will be announced on race day, but you do not have to be there to attend. Because when you buy your lucky duck for as low as $5, we have all that information into our database.
All right, so how do you buy those ducks?
Good question, Johnny. We can buy them a couple different ways. The most popular way is online. It's stillcityduckderby.org. Or you can go onto our website, pfq.org, and that will take you into the duck event website. And you can learn all about the event that way. You can see pictures from last year, videos, all kinds of things on that Duck Derby, stillcityduckderby.org.
So I have to tell everybody, I actually went on and I bought my quack pack the other day because I knew we were going to be sitting down with you, and I'm like, I got to get them before Johnny gets them, so that way my numbers are higher. Yeah, I know.
Random numbers,
I'm
everyone.
just saying.
Random
I got my
personally
quack
trained
pack.
duck, and now
Time to-
he's ineligible.
Yeah, I
can't-
know. Well, you can get another duck. We'll make sure you get
seriously,
another duck.
That duck has been sitting there for how long? For
So-
4 years,
Yeah.
Johnny.
We have talked about this repeatedly during this time of year. There are ducks everywhere in our office. Like I have a fire extinguisher somebody put like a duck on top of it, just a little bitty duck. Everybody buys these little ducks and they're everywhere. And every year after duck season, as it were, I put them away and they still show up. So I don't know what's going on. Exactly.
Well, that's a good point, Maggie, because coming up in a few weeks, all around the city, you might be finding some little ducks with a little tag on it saying what this duck is for, and you
Okay.
can even take it home with you. That duck will not race in the race.
Okay.
That duck is just yours.
So it's
to
a guest
keep.
duck.
So yeah, just look around the restaurants or coffee shops
Yeah.
or anywhere.
Yeah.
You never know where you might find a little ducky.
Well, look around the studio. We don't have we're not allowed to have anything personal because we move studios. People
Okay.
think we have one studio, but we
Right.
have 13.
Right.
And so we're not technically allowed to have any kind of decorations in the studio, except for the only one in the building.
Is your duck in training?
Partners for Quality.
Absolutely.
Ranks that
Wow.
high.
Wow.
Nobody messes with my duck.
Because it's Tami. I get it. That's why, anything Tami does with our ducks has just been amazing. And we're very happy to have her at our foundation. Again, Partners for Quality, Foundation, pfq.org, Steel Duck Derby.
Steel City Duck Derby.
Oh, I keep forgetting that.
SteelCityDuckDerby.org.
That's
She's from
correct.
Philly.
I know. Well, we've gone through that before too. Steel City Duck Derby, and we're really looking forward to it. We have a great time. We have face painting. I know that we've had some of our media show up and they've interviewed me on television, and I've had my face painted. It's really wonderful. Everybody has such a wonderful time.
Look for the lady with the duck on her face.
That's right.
The 4th annual Steel City Duck Derby, Saturday, April 26th, Allegheny Commons Park in the North Shore. And, we've been very lucky as far as the weather's been.
We have been. I think we had one year that it rained, but
just a
it
little
was
bit.
pretty full. But
Yeah,
it was a pretty
yeah.
full day.
All
It's
right.
been beautiful.
But let's talk about Partners for Quality. Now, you mentioned some of the programs, but let's
Yes.
dig a little deeper. Citizens Care. So let's start. Go.
So Citizen Care supports people, like I said, with intellectual and developmental disabilities. They're going to be 50 this year. So we are working, actually our meeting after this is to talk about all of our agenda items for this year to celebrate this amazing agency.
And what does it do exactly?
It supports people in the community who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We also have community homes. We have people that live with their parents that we support. Actually, we have people who work at Grandpa Joe's, which is also a big sponsor of ours. So we have people working in the community and we support them. So that's one of the biggest things that Citizen Care does.
But Partners for Quality, you technically do the behind the scenes.
We do. We do all the behind the scenes stuff so that they can really focus on the people supported. So, our executive directors, they worry about programs and expansion and serving people, where all of us in the back area worry about the IT.
The boots on the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
You let those people with boots on the ground
right.
do
we do
whatever
HR,
they need to.
We do IT, we do all of those kinds of things. All of our fiscal stuff comes out of there. And we take care of all of that for our agencies.
What is the difference between Citizen Care and Milestone?
Different agency.
Okay.
They have a different mission to a certain degree, and Milestone supports people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. However, they're primarily adult behavioral health. So they help people. They have outpatient services, service coordination, peer support, social rehab. They have a whole bunch of those types of services within their agency.
And the Allegheny Children's Initiative is
Under 21 for mental and behavioral health. And I do want to make a little note for Allegheny Children's Initiative. Not only is it an amazing agency, has an amazing culture, we are hiring clinicians. So if you're a clinician out there and you're looking for a great agency with a lot of diversity, great leadership, this would be the place that you definitely want to work. So definitely go online, pfq.org, and take a peek.
All right. And if somebody wants to apply for a job, can they go onto your website?
Yes, pfq.org. That's all you need to remember. Everything's there. Greg's done a great job of integrating all of our websites.
Slow down. It's 3 letters. That's very tough.
PFQ, yeah, Partners for Quality, absolutely. .org.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even I can.
Yeah, but you can get through to all of our career pages and see everything that we have there.
One of the coolest agencies that you guys have is Exceptional Adventures.
Exactly. Exceptional Adventures is our travel agency, and we recently redeveloped that entire agency. And Julie Tribovich, who is our director, actually, we're getting a party bus. So the foundation helped us with getting a party bus. So typically, we would have staff drive people to events, and that's fine. However, people couldn't be together on the way.
Right,
and what's the best thing about going to something? We get a limo, we get a bus, and all of that. So we're having a bus built from scratch that's going to seat 16 people, but it also includes 2 people who have wheelchairs. So now it's completely accessible, and we're really looking forward to, I think it's coming, mid-May? Okay. So, I'm trying to figure out a way to get Exceptional Adventures to let us get on the bus.
It's almost a holistic.
Absolutely.
You take care of the home
Yes.
and the
Yes.
different agencies
Yes.
and adults,
Yes.
children. But this one allows them to kind of fulfill some of their dreams, going on a vacation or going to an event.
Absolutely. We don't hang around with each other and talk about, hey, I paid my mortgage last week, or hey, I did the grass. What do we talk about? Oh, I had dinner with a friend. I went out with so and so. I mean, mean, we just talked about your upcoming nuptials. I mean, those are the things that we talk about in our lives, and the people we support absolutely want the same thing.
Right.
So that's what we do.
And then the foundation basically is the umbrella agency that funds a lot of these agencies.
That's correct. All of our donations typically come right in and right out, and it goes right to the people we support through the Difference Maker grants.
And these Different Makers grants, you could have someone with maybe wants art lessons or swimming lessons, or they want to go on a trip, or they want to go on an exceptional adventures trip. Any type of thing outside and above that they need to have paid on their own is kind of what these Difference Maker grants are.
Yeah, and I just want to mention something. So our Milestone subsidiary got together, and they had talked to the people that they support, and a lot of the people that we support who are a little older really never went to their own prom. So they had come up with the idea that they were going to have a prom. So they talked to Johanna at the foundation, they talked to Tami and Greg, and they actually held the first annual Milestone Once Upon a Prom. It was in September.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and everybody, so we had donated dresses. We've been working with the city of Pittsburgh on some of the prom things, and it was held at, where was it again? It's
Lobby Hall in Freeport.
In Freeport, and I think that's the place we're going to have it again. But it had 500 people there, and we ended up being able to, have everything taken care of, and nobody had to pay to come in.
Did you do a prom king and queen or anything?
We did not, but we did a lot
knew for
of
this
dancing.
year.
They kept me going a really long day. These guys were unbelievable, but everybody came dressed to the nines, and a big party bus people rented, and tuxedos and all of that. So this is that kind of stuff that, I was fortunate enough to go to my prom. I hope you were too. And some people who haven't have that experience.
Well, I grew up north of the city in a little Amish town called New Wilmington.
Okay.
I took my prom date in a Dutch buggy.
Did you really? And did they have cars back then, or
They did not.
You just happened to get the buggy.
It was a fancy driving one. Yeah. So anyway, the foundation funds all these events, and that's why it's so critical that
we need you to buy a duck.
And
absolutely, absolutely.
All right, we're going to talk about some of the other events, but since you brought up the duck, Tami, tell us everything we need to know about the upcoming Duck Derby.
The Steel City Duck Derby will take place on Saturday, April 26th on the north side, Lake Elizabeth, Allegheny Commons Park, from 11 a.m. with the duck launch at 1 p.m. So beforehand, before we launch our ducks, we have a little duck festival with Jonny Hartwell and his music, and we're having so much fun and singing, dancing, and we have duck games, which are free. We have some of the people joining us this year from the north side is the Andy Warhol Museum, Children's Museum, and they will be there along with Hope Grows, other organizations, nonprofit organizations, that with games for everybody to take part in. We'll have food trucks. We have some beer for those of you who want to walk around with a brew from Allegheny City Brewing Company. And we're just going to have fun. But you can buy a duck at steelcityduckderby.org. You can buy it online, or you'll also see some brochures around the city, and you can fill it out and send cash or a check, or even come to our office and drop things off.
And if you're the lucky duck, you could win $2,000. The grand
Absolutely.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, Lucky Duck wins, first place is $2,000, second place is $1,000, third place is $500, fourth is 1 year membership to the Children's Museum. I haven't been there yet, but I've heard amazing things. Mm-hmm. And then 1 year family membership to the National Aviary, which is right next door to Allegheny Commons. And I do want to mention we have some sponsors that have been very, very generous to us, North Shore Tavern. And for those of you who happen to go to the Duck Derby, that's where all of us end up hanging out afterward. And
there is a kickoff party on April 2nd at North Shore Tavern from 5 to 7.
That's right. And iHeart Media, of course, you guys help us, Grandpa Joe's and Mar Dussel. And Mar Dussel is one of many auditors, and they've been very generous to us through the years.
Get your duck. You can adopt as many as you want at steelcityduckderby.org. So in addition to the Duck Derby, what other do you have other fundraisers throughout the year?
Yes, we do. Coming up on June 9th, we have the 34th annual Bob Pompiani Golf Classic. So we have a very fun golf outing. And then in the fall, we have Partners for Comedy, which stars Bill Crawford and other couple local comedians around the area. And then in December, we have a beautiful holiday season party, which takes place up at the Lamont on Mount Washington. So those are some of our 4 big ones, along with a celebrity bartending event thrown here and there.
Yes.
All right, so all these events fund all these programs.
That's correct.
And you have you have 5 different agencies.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I mean, aside from the fundraisers, how do you get any support from the state? From
We do. Typically, the majority of our programs are funded by the state of Pennsylvania and federal Medicaid dollars, along with some county funding as well. So we do rely on that. That's not what pays for all the fun, though. That takes care of typically people's needs, but not their wants. The foundation takes care of the wants. So we obviously provide food, and we provide bed, and we provide a home, and all of that kind of stuff. But if you don't have a lot of money, you're on Social Security, disability, which a lot of the people we serve are, and you want to go get your nails done. That's not necessarily something that's an option for you, but the foundation will help. You want to go and get your hair done for a very special occasion. You can request that from the foundation. So the foundation really funds people's wants in life, and we take care of all of their needs.
Well, you could also argue that, getting your hair done, your nails done, it may be a want, but it's also kind of a need.
It is. And the need to feel special. All of those things, a vacation.
But things that we kind of take for granted.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for all of us, we have a budget, right? So my nails aren't done because it doesn't meet my budget this week, So it's all a part of that. And the foundation helps.
I'm getting I know the Duck Derby's coming out. I'm going to definitely get
I may have them ready for I'll have to get.
I got to look extra special for the ducks.
You certainly do. But anyway, that's what we rely on the foundation for. And they have done an amazing job of providing costing of baseball gear. People want to play baseball, so they've been able to help register people for from Allegheny Children's Institute and get them all the stuff that they need. I know that in the past we had a mom who was in desperate need because her, I think, son had some medical issues along with some behavioral issues, and she was going to the laundromat after him having, a lot of episodes, and we were able to buy her a washer. So it's those kinds of real needs that we can help families with.
Tell me a little bit more about the individuals you help.
What do you want to know? We serve collectively about 4,000 people across Allegheny County and now into Washington County, and we have about 800 staff that help with all of that. So it's a variety of needs. So I grew up on the intellectual and developmental disability side, and so for me, the people that we support, they're amazing, and they do amazing things that I think we take for granted at times. So we have this young lady. Well,
stained glass.
I was just going to talk about her. So we have a lady who had done a lot of stained glass when she was younger, and throughout her life, her moves, she kept moving, and she different agencies and so on and so forth. Ended up with us about 4 or 5 years ago, and her physical disabilities have gotten to be a little bit more as she's gotten older, and she requested a grant from the foundation to be able to do stained glass again. So now she's actually making all of this stained glass, and she donated like 4 beautiful ornaments for our holiday celebration. So, and she has business cards now, and she's running her own little business and doing her stained glass. And
yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. So she's essentially self-employed now.
Now, you mentioned earlier that some of your individuals have jobs. Do you help,
absolutely.
Do you help them?
Yes. Citizen Care and Milestone both have job coaches, and they work with the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation along with the Office of Developmental Programs to help people find jobs in the community. And Grandpa Joe's is one of those places that helps do that. So we have people who may work there part-time. They go in, and their boss will say, okay, we're going to work on this with the candy or this with the candy, and that's their job, and they get paid for it.
One of my first listeners and first person that called me when I started this job.
I remember you saying this,
Kevin.
please.
Kevin was Kevin passed away a couple of years ago, but he had his, special needs and everything else.
Right.
And he was older, but he took such pride in his
absolutely.
job that it was, hey, Kevin, you want to go to lunch? I'm sorry, buddy, I have to work. And, he took such pride in that employment.
Absolutely. If you talk to our employers, what they will tell you is that the people that we support that work for them are some of the most responsible employees they will ever have, because they value the job and they understand how important it is to work, and it's all about their self-worth. So yeah, you're right. A lot of times our people, the people we support, don't call off sick. They really don't do a lot. They live to work at these places, and it's a way for them to gain a lot of independence and confidence and really feel assured that they're a contributing member of society.
And a social network.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. I mean, most of us have friends where we work.
Right.
So,
and speaking of the event, you'll get to meet a lot of our individuals because they come and they help. They volunteer with another staff member or another volunteer. They will be at all the duck games. And this is why we love this event, because it's for our community. It's for the entire community of Pittsburgh. And everybody just has a wonderful day. And
there's something about ducks.
There are.
We are duck crazy.
There were so many people that have come dressed as ducks and everything else that I thought were part of our agency, to come to find out they were only members of the community who really had an obsession with ducks.
Pittsburgh is obsessed with ducks.
Yeah, they really are.
One of these years are bringing that 15 or 20 footer back. Don't you worry, Jeff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we've mentioned this before. I think in Tami's mind, she would love nothing more than to do the duck derby on the Three Rivers. You know what I mean? Yeah. And get bigger ducks and more ducks.
1 million ducks.
Yeah, exactly.
And pour it down. Push those barges aside.
Exactly.
Here come, release the quacking.
You'd have a lot more than one duck to train there, Jeff.
Absolutely.
All right, very quickly. I know we only have like 3 or 4 minutes left. So tell us everything, Partners for Quality, everything that people need to know about the organization.
Oh, Partners for Quality is a family of organizations that support people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and behavioral health needs. We serve about 4,000 people within the entire community, and we have about 800 staffs. And we work very, very hard to make sure that we're person-centered.
And every staff member I've met have been absolutely fabulous.
Oh, our staff is amazing.
We
have a real part of the reason why I moved to Pittsburgh was because I wanted to work for an organization that meant something, and we do. And that means the world to me. I know that every day that I go in, I make a difference in somebody's life. And that's what we do.
And thank you for everything you guys do.
Thank you.
And you can help out by buying a duck. Tami, you get the last word. Tell us everything we need to know about the 4th annual Steel City Duck Derby.
Saturday, April 26th, Allegheny Commons Park, North Side, 11 a.m. Family Duck Festival. At 1 o'clock, the launch. Buy a duck at stillcityduckderby.org or several ducks, and you can win 5 different prizes, with the top prize being $2,000.
And where can I buy these ducks?
stillcityduckderby.org.
I'm sorry, I missed that again. Say that again.
stillcityduckderby.org.
All right, if you want more information on the organization, what are those 3 letters again?
PFQ.org.
But if you want to buy a duck, it's stillcityduckderby.org. Allegheny Commons starting at 11 o'clock. Get there early because it's kind of a family atmosphere. You got food trucks and you got games and people. A lot of people dressed in yellow.
Yes.
My fiance wants to bring her a golden doodle who's white.
Oh my gosh! Yes, the dogs have been amazing. Yes.
Wants to color him yellow for it. So he's
that'll
like
be wonderful.
A big chubby fat duck.
Oh,
he is not
hysterical.
trained. I train my little duck, but not my dog. Anyway, it's a great event. So make sure you adopt. adopt. Make sure you stop by, cheer, make a difference for the community. Partners for Quality, thank you for everything you guys do. And I will see you on the 26th, bright and early.
Yes. Thank you very much, Johnny. Appreciate you.
Once again, adopt a duck at steelcityduckderby.org. That's steelcityduckderby.org. All right. Once again, thanks to Tami and Maggie. And as always, if you have any comments, concerns, or an idea for a future program, please email us from this radio station's website. I'm Jonny Hartwell. Thank you so much for listening.